This is 3 News Daily.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to 3 News Daily on this Wednesday, January 3rd. I'm Stephanie Haney. Thank you for being with us here in Northeast Ohio. We start today with an update on an investigation into the Cleveland Ballet. 3 News has learned yesterday that the Cleveland Ballet has severed ties with the School of Cleveland Ballet. Now, these are two separate organizations, and if you remember, former artistic director, currently suspended artistic director Gladisa Guadalupe is now suspended from the Cleveland Ballet amid an investigation into serious workplace allegations. Now, from there, the Cleveland Ballet has severed ties with the School of Cleveland Ballet, which Gladisa Guadalupe founded after they had learned of the firing of all of the dance instructors who are currently employed by the Cleveland Ballet Company. They are now launching their own school called the Academy of Cleveland Ballet, and you can learn more about this on WKYC.com. Now we go to Akron, where police are investigating a robbery at a Taco Bell. Police say a 35-year-old suspect tried to rob the store at gunpoint and shot at the 21-year-old employee who returned fire and struck the robber. The suspect ran away and then arrived at an Akron hospital moments later with a gunshot wound to the upper body. Police say he's listed in serious but stable condition and his injuries are not considered life-threatening. He faces robbery and other charges stemming from the incident. A 33-year-old man who police say dropped the suspect off at the hospital was detained and was also charged with robbery and booked into the Summit County Jail in connection with his role in the incident. That person has been identified as Rayshawn Bruce. Now, strong words were said at East Cleveland City Council meeting last night. This is following the recovery of several racist, homophobic, and anti-Semitic text messages. These were sent between 2019 and 2022. They were sent by currently suspended Police Chief Brian Gerhard. 3 News obtained copies of those texts, which you can see here, and some are too inappropriate to show. Vice President of the council, Patricia Blohowiak, says he should be off the police force.
He said it was a joke. He said it was just German culture. If you made some kind of mistake and you figured it out later, then yeah, you apologize. No, but he should have resigned, I think.
Gerhard is suspended with pay while they investigate the text. The city has hired an outside law firm to assist in that investigation. Before his suspension, Gerhard admitted to other news outlets that he sent those text messages. 3 News reached out to him and he denied an interview. Now in Cleveland Heights, a 14-year-old boy turned himself into police for the shooting death of another teen. The teen is facing murder and felony assault charges after police say he shot a 15-year-old. Naria Thomas was found shot in the head Monday night. The city says the victim and her family know the suspect, but it's not clear what the relationship is. Right now, the 14-year-old suspect is being held at the Cuyahoga County Juvenile Detention Center. The Lakewood mother at the center of a 6-day Amber Alert has pleaded guilty to aggravated attempted murder. Police say Ariel Walters took off with her 1-year-old daughter after stabbing the child's father on Christmas Eve. Her bond is set at $500,000. She'll be back in court January 8th. Meanwhile, Lakewood Police tells 3 News that the 1-year-old is being cared for by family members, and at the last check, the father was still in the hospital. Switching gears now, a popular sandwich shop has closed another location. Melt Bar and Grilled announced yesterday that their Avon store is now gone for good. The location on Detroit Road has been open for 7 years, but in a press release, Melt owner Matt Fish says the decision was due to economic issues following the COVID-19 pandemic. This is the 4th location to shut down after Melt's Cleveland Heights store closed in 2020, followed by the Canton and Dayton stores closing in January of last year. Now, starting this month, there's a new program to encourage home ownership here in Ohio. The Ohio Homebuyer Plus Savings Program is meant to help Ohioans overcome some of the biggest obstacles in buying a home, the biggest being affordability. The median home price in Ohio has grown to about 2.6 times the median household income. That's the largest discrepancy since 2005. According to State Treasurer Robert Sprague, the program will offer above-market interest rates to potential buyers who deposit money in participating banks and credit unions.
The deal is you can save up to $100,000 with this Ohio Homebuyer Plus Savings Program, and we will get you an increased interest rate by using the power of the state's balance sheet. And you get an income tax deduction. We've got to build more housing up and down the affordability scale.
Now remember, a higher interest rate is a good thing when you're saving money and not paying money on a loan. So in order to apply, you must be an Ohio resident and 18 years or older. You can only use the proceeds from this savings account toward a down payment or closing costs. The state hasn't announced a start date for the program to begin, other than it will be available sometime this month. Now, while we're talking about money and higher education, that brings us to our question of the day, because in our 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock shows today, we'll be talking about planning and saving for college. So if you went to college, we want to know, what did you major in, and are you working in that field now? Post your comment to the WKYC Facebook page. We'll talk about that during 3 News at 4 and 3 News at 5. Now, I know that's a complicated question for a lot of people, especially when you're working in a field that maybe isn't directly tied to your degree but could be helpful. For example, my first degree, political science and criminology, then ended up later going back to school for journalism, law school in the middle there. So it could be a windy road for a lot of people. Interested to hear what you have to say. Thanks for being with us for today's edition of 3 News Daily. We appreciate you wherever you're watching or listening. We'll see you back here tomorrow with more top stories from around Northeast Ohio. Have a beautiful Wednesday, everybody.